In this video, I am going to teach you another important grammar topic, that is conditional sentences. On conditional sentences, there are questions in 10th class, intermediate and degree also. Not only that, even in competitive exams also, the questions are asked on conditional sentences. So the conditional sentences can be asked either in the form of tenses or in the form of common errors. Okay, whatever the kind of test it may be, but I want my students and the viewers to learn and understand the conditional sentences, so that you will be able to answer the questions in your school exams or college exams, and you will be able to speak the conditional sentences as and when the time permits you as part of your communication or conversation. Okay, look at the title, conditional sentences. We know sentences. You might have heard of sentences. Declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentences. Okay, in spoken English we hear the sentences, positive sentence, negative sentence, interrogative sentence, negative interrogative sentence. So we have heard these kinds of sentences, but we have conditional sentences. Okay, the only difference between those sentences and these sentences is just only one, that is conditional word is introduced in these sentences, so that they are called conditional sentences. Okay, what are the words, what are the terms used to turn the sentences into conditional sentences? Look at this box. Okay, there are 5 words I have written. You see, if, unless, providing, providing that, provided that. These are the terms or the words used as linkers, so that the sentences will be changed or transformed into conditional sentences. Whenever we want to change a sentence from a sentence into a conditional one, generally these words are used. Most speakers use if and sometimes unless. If is used for positive meaning and unless is used for negative meaning. And these three are also used in the sense of with the same meaning of if. Of course, these are used by advanced speakers or learned people use these three words. But in grammar, most cases we come across the linker, that is if. So look at the conditional sentences. Before we are going to understand the conditional sentences, it is very essential to understand the difference between main clause and subordinate clause. Without understanding main clause and subordinate clause, you will not be able to understand the conditional sentences. That is why, unless you understand thoroughly the difference between main clause and subordinate clause, it will be very difficult for you to understand conditional sentences. That is why I would like to introduce you the difference between main clause and subordinate clause. Main clause, it is not a new term or new word. Main clause is nothing but it is a sentence. It is a kind of sentence in which we find subject, verb and object, but it gives complete meaning. Main clause is one in which there is a subject, verb and object, and it makes full sense or complete sense or complete meaning. Okay, next, subordinate clause. What is a subordinate clause? Subordinate clause is also a sentence in which we find a subject and verb, but it does not make complete sense. It does not give complete meaning. It gives only incomplete meaning. To give complete meaning, it has to depend on main clause. Remember the difference between main clause and subordinate clause. Subordinate clause always depends on main clause for complete meaning. Only subordinate clause cannot make complete sense or cannot give complete meaning. You remember this. Okay, look at this example. If you go now, you will catch the train. So this is, if you go now, this is a clause. So this is called subordinate clause because it is begun with subordinating conjunction. If is called subordinating conjunction, so it is called subordinate clause. And another name for this is dependent clause because it depends on main clause for its full meaning, so it is called dependent clause. Another name is if clause because it is begun with if, so it is also called if clause. So this is a subordinate clause. This clause has a subject and verb, and it does not give complete meaning. For a while, this clause is not here. Imagine this clause is not there. Just read the sentence, read the clause. If you go now, we know the meaning of this sentence. If you go now, okay, it gives only some meaning. Okay, if you go now, what happens? What is the result? If you go now, will you catch the train? Or will you miss the train? Will you meet with an accident? Will you be run over by a lorry or a bus? Will anything happen to you? What happens? There is no complete meaning. There is something lacking. So there is something missing. So to get complete meaning, it has to depend on main clause. When it depends on main clause, we get a complete meaning, perfect meaning. If you go now, comma, you will catch the train. What is the result of going now? There will be possibility. What is that one? You will catch the train. So this is a subordinate clause. Look at this clause. You will catch the train. So imagine this part is not here. Only you will catch the train. Okay, this is a independent sentence. Just even if we take this independent sentence, it makes complete sense. It gives complete meaning because it has its own structure, subject plus verb plus object, and it gives complete meaning. It can stand on its own. To give complete meaning, it doesn't depend on any other clause. So it is called main clause. It is the main sentence in which subject is there, verb is there, object is there. So it is also called independent clause because it can stand on its own. It doesn't depend on any other clause. So it is called independent clause. And it is also called principal clause. This is the chief clause. This is the important clause in which everything is found. Everything is found. So okay, this is a main clause. So main clause is one in which subject, verb and object, and it can stand on its own for complete meaning, to give complete meaning. So this is a main clause. So in each conditional sentence we find two clauses. One is main clause and another one is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause is introduced by a subordinating conjunction, that is if. Okay. When it comes to the kinds of conditional sentences, okay, conditional sentences kinds. How many kinds of conditional sentences are there? There are mainly three conditional sentences. Number one, probable conditional sentence. It is also called type 1 conditional sentence. Number two, improbable conditional sentence. In improbable, imaginary conditional sentence is also included, and it is also called type 2 conditional sentence. And number three, unfulfilled conditional sentence. It is also called type 3 conditional sentences. These are the main kinds. These are the main conditional sentences that we have in English grammar. About each conditional sentence we learn in the following videos. Please subscribe our channel English Victor. Thank you.